What is going on, everybody? Today we're going to analyze the tape of Nick Herbig against the Detroit Lions, and we'll also look at some of his snaps from the past games. And the guy was phenomenal in preseason this year. Now, Herbig's a very interesting player because last year he had a lot of quarterback hits and sacks and pressures, but he didn't play a whole lot of snaps. But I think this year the guy's going to play a little bit more. This year the guy's going to be asked to step up his role just a little bit, and I think Herbig might be a really good football player. Because in this game here against the Lions, literally on the third play of the game, this guy's already generating pressure. This guy's already getting after the quarterback a little bit. You see him do a great job here avoiding the running back and almost getting to the quarterback. It is a quarterback hit. It's technically not a sack, and the Lions do technically pick the first down up. But this is a great job avoiding the running back here. He even tries to chop down the running back with the right hand. You'll see that right there. He's going to try to chop it down. Not that the running back was going to be able to stop him anyways, but I love the fact that Herbig's fast enough that you can line him up in the stack position and bring him on a blitz, and he'll get after the quarterback. He'll pressure him. He'll bring him down. Now, this was the third play of the game, and then on the fourth play of the game, Nick Herbig's going to end up getting his first sack of this game. Just a really good job turning a speed move back towards the inside and being able to get to the quarterback. Now, Herbig's not the first guy that actually ends up getting to the quarterback. You'll see on this one, both defensive tackles on the inside actually end up winning their reps here. You got Keanu Benton here, and you got Larry Ogunjobi on the other side next to him, and you're going to see both of those guys are going to be able to generate some pressure, and then Herbig kind of cleans it up. But regardless, great job. This was the fourth play of the game. And then on the fifth play of the game, once again, they're going to get to the quarterback. Now, Herbig actually ends up getting double teamed on this one, which is kind of interesting in its own right. You're going to see that the offensive linemen are going to end up sliding towards the right here. So the center is going to slide towards the right. And with that, Herbig's also on that same side. You see that they're going to ultimately run this defensive line game. Herbig actually does a pretty good job taking two guys on this one. Of course, that kind of frees up the other guys. And that was the fifth play. And I show all this to you guys in sequence because on the sixth play of the game, Nick Herbig, once again, is going to get to the quarterback. This time he's going to force a fumble. This is 3rd and 22. And you see right there, he's able to force the turnover. Let's talk about this play here. One of the moves that Herbig has, one of the go-to moves, is essentially going to be the hezzy cross chop. Right, or some people just call it a cross chop. Usually you add that hezzy in it anyways. Nick Herbig has absolutely fine-tuned this, and it looks really good. You can see him bring that right hand, which is his inside hand on this one. The inside hand's going to land on the outside hand of the offensive tackle. As soon as he punches that outside hand, the left arm's going to pin the back arm. You'll see that right there. And this wasn't necessarily a pin, but he makes sure that that offensive tackle can't bring that chopped arm back up, right? He can't rotate it around and recover. And with that, Herbig does a great job finding the football. He's going to knock the ball out of the quarterback's hands on this one. That's just a great play right there by a great pass rusher. In my opinion, Nick Herbig has so much potential to become a really good football player. Now, to me, he looks a lot faster this year than he looked last year. He definitely looks stronger, and he definitely looks, more comfortable out there, right? You can definitely tell that he's put a lot of work in this offseason, and it's definitely paying off. Now, the defense came back out on the very next drive. Herbig, once again, is going to do a great job being able to wrap the running back up. He stays within his run fit initially. There's nowhere for the running back to go on the inside. You see the big boys up front, basically dominating up front. You also get a linebacker that kind of jumps the gap there. But just a great job right there to force the running back to have to bend this back towards the left. And Herbig does a great job setting the outside, and then he ultimately comes back, wraps up the running back, and stops him for just a gain of 2 yards on 1st and 10. So up until this point, you guys have seen every single one of Herbig's snaps. He only played in 9 against the Detroit Lions. This is the 8th of the 9th snap. He's not actually going to be involved in this one. And I'm going to show you guys the 9th snap as well, which is going to be this one. He's going to generate a little bit of pressure on this one. 3rd and 10 essentially on this one. He's going to generate a little bit of pressure. He's not able to stay up on his feet. He does kind of lose balance a little bit. And the quarterback does get the ball out. On this one here, he's going to try to once again chop the offensive lineman. Now, this one's going to be just a single hand punch, but you do see that he's going to essentially combine a hezzy move towards the inside right there, right? You see him kind of take that inside angle as he gets out of his pass set, and then he's going to jump towards the outside, and he's going to try to chop down the left arm of the offensive tackle. The chop does miss. You can see the left tackle's left hand is not impacted. He is still able to hit the corner, but he isn't able to kind of stay up. So that's a good job nonetheless by Herbig to force the quarterback to kind of have to step up. and not be able to step backwards in the pocket, right? And essentially the pocket kind of collapses. This was 3rd and 10. And this is the final play that Herbig played against the Detroit Lions. Now I want to go ahead and show you guys 5 more snaps of Herbig's preseason against the 2 previous teams, the Buffalo Bills and the Houston Texans, because it's pretty much the same thing that he did against the Detroit Lions, where he just dominated, man. He's so fast, he's so quick, he's so explosive. Nick Herbig almost reminds me of Micah Parsons. Herbig just moves differently. Like, you see how fast and how quick and how explosive he is. And there's only one other guy that does this, and that's literally Micah Parsons. The way Herbig's able to move out there, it's absolutely special in my opinion. I mean, this one here is a great example of that. You know, you got a defensive line game, and the guard isn't even able to come back towards this because he is so fast. Look at the way he changes direction. He's going to initially take 1 step upfield, and then he's going to quickly just come back right towards the inside. And the guard here is not fast enough to get in front of it. I mean, that right there is absolutely insane speed. And even the center is trying to come back to it, and they're just not able to. And he ends up getting to the quarterback on this one. That's a beautiful, beautiful job. Now, I mentioned earlier that I felt like Nick Herbig definitely looked a lot stronger. And I definitely stay with that thought process because I saw a lot of plays like this on tape where he does go to the bull rush move. You know, when you're so fast and you're so quick, one of the things you have to do is you have to make sure you can, you know, every 6-7 snaps throw a bull rush in there. You got to show these guys that you have the ability to essentially get your hands into a guy and throw him back into the quarterback. Now, this was not a sack or a quarterback hit, but it's a good rep nonetheless. Right? He generates pressure. Great job from the time he makes contact with this guy to essentially push him right back into the quarterback. Look at how far he's able to make this guy go back. And he essentially is the one that collapses the pocket into the quarterback. So to me, that's a good job to be able to show off that bull rush. You're going to get another one here. This time he's going to end up getting the sack on the quarterback. The tackle does do a pretty good job initially. You'll see that Larry Ogunjobi is going to end up getting there first, and the quarterback is able to kind of get away from that. It's a good job here by the defensive tackle to be able to beat the guard. And the quarterback's able to initially get out of that, but then Herbig's right there to clean it up. This is why effort's an important trait that you have to have. Because when a guy might initially be able to stop you, you got to keep going. You got to go to your second pass rush move. You got to go to your 3rd one, your 4th one. You got to get off the block because at some point, you might be able to get a cleanup sack the way Herbig gets on this one. So at the end of the day, he's still able to beat the tackle. And keep in mind, this is the starting tackle right here of the Buffalo Bills. It's not a backup tackle. In fact, this is not the backup offensive line of the Buffalo Bills, right? So that's a really, really good job right there to be able to get to the quarterback on this one. Let's go ahead and get to the next snap. All right, we're going to look at 2 more plays against the Texans. On this one here, he's going to do a good job beating the right tackle. And watch the move on this one. It's one of the moves that he has absolutely fine-tuned. It's the same move that we looked at earlier. Essentially, you're going to fake a move towards the inside, or you're going to give that hezzy move towards the inside. And then with that, you're going to use your inside arm to chop down, and then you're going to pin with your outside arm. And you see that. You literally see him not only make contact with the outside arm, but you see that left arm come around as well. So to me, that's a really, really good job. And he's able to generate pressure. He doesn't actually get to the quarterback on this one. But keep in mind, you know, he only played like 10, 11 snaps against the Texans. So, you know, 10, 11, you might not get home. But 40 or 50 snaps, you know, you might end up getting home a little bit more. There's one other snap that I want to show you guys. You got a 2nd and 8 final play here. Once again, just a beautiful job being able to, you know, realize the situation, realize the play, and then get to the quarterback. This is smart football. Understanding the situation that you're in right now. You know, when this tight end comes down in front of you, you know there's a couple of things that can happen on this play. This tight end can block down, the tight end can block you directly, or the tight end might go into some sort of split zone concept where he has to essentially wham block. And if you can understand that, and the very first step this tight end takes is directly towards you, now you know that this is either going to be some sort of a duo concept or some sort of power concept, because the tight end will not set out towards you if it's a zone run. Alternatively, the quarterback could be coming out here on some sort of boot action, and this tight end's there to really slow you down, and then the tight end's going to release, and that's exactly what's going to end up happening. So again, understanding the situation, understanding what's happening, and being able to get to the quarterback, it's smart football. Nick Herbig is a smart football player, man. I really, really like this guy's tape. I think he's going to be a great football player for the Steelers. It's just a matter of time until it all clicks. I wouldn't be surprised if this guy ends up being one of the next great defensive linemen I wouldn't be surprised if Herbig ends up becoming a top 10 to 15 defensive player within the next year or two. And don't be surprised if other people start comparing this guy to Micah Parsons. He absolutely moves differently. And if he gets the amount of snaps that I think he will get this year, this guy's going to be an absolute special player. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, consider subscribing, and I will see you guys next time with another video.